It's a lesson too late for the learning. Made of sand, made of sand. In the wink of an eye, my soul is turning. In your hand, in your hand. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? I couldn't love you better. I didn't mean to be unkind. You know it was the last thing on my mind. You had a reason aplenty for going. This I know, this I know. And the weeds have been steadily growing. Please don't go, please don't go. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? I couldn't love you better. I didn't mean to be unkind. You know it was the last thing on my mind. Go on with you, Darcy. As I lie in my bed in the morning, without you, without you. Every song in my heart dies a mourning, without you, without you. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be trace left behind? I couldn't love you better. I didn't mean to be unkind. You know it was the last thing on my mind. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? I couldn't love you better. I didn't mean to be unkind. You know it was the last thing on my mind. Yes, you know it was the last thing on my mind. Yes, boy. Lovely.
Thank you very much. Welcome. How's everyone doing? Good. How's the Jigs dinner? Now, be very careful when you're singing. Now, make sure you swallow before you... We wouldn't want you, like, getting caught in a piece of salt beef there or something. But, listen, it's great to see everybody. Absolutely. We're live stream here today on After Jigs, so just remember you might be...
Yeah, if you're with someone you're not supposed to be with, now's the time to get out of here, okay? Just to let you know, you'll be all over the internet. That's the deal.
But on the other hand, call all your friends and tell them to tune in. Yeah, we're here at Broderick's now for a Sunday dinner. As we say here, you only live once, so lick the plate. You know what's weird with the windows are open?
I know, just there. We'll do a Kate Wolf tune here just to keep it going, just to make sure everyone's working, including ourselves. If you have any complaints about the live stream, well, talk to whoever you want, because it's not going to change a bloody thing there. So just. This is a tune called "Across the Great Divide," all about the Continental Divide. where Darcy and myself have spent many a late evening and a much too early morning in Butte, Montana.
Years and years ago. We were very young then. Yes. But we always remember the beautiful sunrise, as Kevin said, the late night and early morning. We remember the absolutely beautiful sunrise over the curb.
Over the curbs, gorgeous, yeah.
Train tracks.
And if you can put two and two
Just
together,
waking
I
up.
just have to tell you that Darcy is a lovely, fluffy thing to cuddle up to in the middle of the street.
Next to a train track.
Well, I've been walking in my sleep, counting troubles instead of counting sheep. Where the years went, I can't say. I just turned around and they've gone away. Well, I've been sifting through the layers of the dusty books and the faded papers. They tell a story that I used to know. It was one that happened long ago. It's gone away yesterday, and I find myself on the mountainside where the rivers change direction across the great divide. Well, I heard the owl calling softly as the night was falling with a question, and I replied, but he's gone across the borderline. It's gone away yesterday, and I find myself on the mountainside where the rivers change direction across the great divide. Now the finest hour that I have seen is the one that comes between the edge of night and the break of day, when the darkness rolls away. It's gone away yesterday, and I find myself on the mountainside where the rivers change direction across the great divide. It's gone away yesterday, and I find myself on the mountainside where the rivers change direction across the great divide. Where the rivers change direction across the great divide.
Special effects.
Now then, lovely.
Master Coven Avant.
Lovely.
I know you love.
Right, we'll take a short break now. I'm back in a couple of hours. Thanks a lot. Very tired. We punched a hard night last night. Building the deck. Wasn't that right, Darcy?
The deck. It'll be open tomorrow for anybody out there in live stream land planning on coming down.
That's right. And anybody here that wants to can sleep on it tonight, so you're all set.
Sleep on the deck.
We've done it before.
We'll do a song that was written by a Scottish singer-songwriter by the name of Dougie MacLean here now. He wrote this song called Caledonia. Now, if you lived in Scotland around 1600 years ago and before,
Just slightly before my time, I think.
chances are you didn't. But you would have been under Roman rule and you would have lived in a place called Caledonia. I think the Irish came in, the Irish Brigade came in the 400s and kicked the Romans out, and Scotland was born. That's the short version.
It has something to do with a kilt or something, does it?
Has nothing to do with this song, but
If you ever get a chance to look up Dougie MacLean, he's got some lovely songs besides Caledonia. Caledonia, I guess, is his most favorite song, and most famous song, I should say.
yes.
It's very weird to see three young ladies stand at the bar without a drink in their hands, Darcy. Look. No, you can drink right there, you know. See, you're at the bar at the moment. Be great.
It goes down much faster standing, believe me.
Oh, that's right. 'Tis me.
I don't know if you can see the changes that have come over me in these last few days. I've been afraid that I might drift away. I've been telling old stories and singing songs that make me think about where I came from. That's the reason why I seem so far away today. Oh, and let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you call me, now I'm going home. If I should become a stranger, you know it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Now I have moved, I kept on moving, proved the points that I needed proven, lost the friends that I needed losing, found others on the way. And I have tried and kept on trying, stolen dreams, yes, there's no denying. I traveled far with conscience flying, somewhere with the wind. Oh, and let me tell you that I love you, and that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you call me, now I'm going home. If I should become a stranger, you know it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Now I'm sitting here before the fire, the empty room, the forest choir, the flames that couldn't get any higher. They've withered now, they've gone, and I'm steady thinking my way is clear, and I know what I will do tomorrow when the hands have shaken and the kisses flowed. Then I will disappear.
think about you all the time. Caledonia, you called me. Now I'm going home. If I should become a stranger, you know it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had.
There you go, Caledonia. Thank you very much.
Caledonia. Right, we'll do a song that comes from Dublin now. We'll do I don't know if it's from the north side or the south side of Dublin. Doesn't really matter. You can sing this song while surfing right down the middle of the Liffey and you'll be all set.
It's probably all over the place anyway.
This is a tune all about a person who I thought was the greatest craftswoman in all of Ireland. I thought that she knit hats and socks and jumpers and gloves. And I sang this song for my mother when I was about 12 years old, and my mother listened very patiently. And she said, Taylor, love, do you know what that song is about? And I said, yeah, it's about a great craftswoman, gloves and socks and hats and all this. And you have to realize the town that I come from on the south coast of Ireland, a place called Dungarvan. A hooker in Dungarvan is someone who knits all the time, right? So anyway, I sang this song for my mother. She just looked at me and said, you poor innocent child. Hey, one of that.
No, that's not the man.
Hey! A tune called Dicey Riley. Poor old Dicey Riley, she's taken to the sup. Poor old Dicey Riley, she will never give it up. For it's off each morning to the pop. She stops in for another little drop, and the heart of the rowl is Dicey Riley. She walks along Fitzgibbon Street with an independent air. Then it's down by Summer Hill, and as the people stare, she says, sure, it's nearly 1:30. I'll stop in for another little one, and the heart of the rowl is Dicey Riley. Poor old Dicey Riley, she's taken to the sup. Poor old Dicey Riley, she will never give it up. For it's off each morning to the pop. She stops in for another little drop, and the heart of the rowl is Dicey Riley. At 2 pubs close and out she goes, happy as a lark. She'll find a place to sleep it off down in St. Patrick's Park. She'll wake at 5 feeling in the pink. She'll say she's time for another little drink. The heart of the rowl is Dicey Riley. Poor old Dicey Riley, she is taken to the sup. Poor old Dicey Riley, she will never give it up. For it's off each morning to the pop. She stops in for another little drop, and the heart of the rowl is Dicey Riley. Come on with you. Long years ago when men were men and fancied me all belong, or lovely Becky Cooper, or Maggie's Mary Wong. One woman put them all to shame, only one was worthy of the name, and the name of the dame was Dicey Riley. Poor old Dicey Riley, she is taken to the sup. Poor old Dicey Riley, she will never give it up. For it's off each morning to the pop. She stops in for another little drop, and the heart of the rowl is Dicey Riley. Time went catching up to her like all the pretty little hooers. It's after you along the street, and before you're out the door, Their balance vague, their looks all fade. Out of all that great brigade, the heart of the owl is Dicey Riley. Poor old Dicey Riley, she's taken to the sup. Poor old Dicey Riley, she will never give it up. For it's off each morning to the pop. She stops in for another little drop, and the heart of the owl is Dicey Riley. Yeah, poor old Dicey Riley, she's taken to the sup. Poor old Dicey Riley, she will never give it up. For it's off each morning to the pop. She stops in for another little drop, and the heart of the owl is Dicey Riley. Yes, the heart of the owl is Dicey Riley. And the heart of the owl is Dicey Riley. Skiddy diddle doodle up and yabba doo day doo. Diddle 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 doodle doodle but yabba diddle 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 yet skiddy diddle doodle doodle.
Lovely, Mr. Kevin Evans.
Lovely.
I hope you're enjoying all the special effects in the background.
Get you
Now we're going to do one more song, and then we're going to, I guess I'm going to say, we could sweeten up the stage a little bit, because you wanted to look at these two ugly facades up here for the next few songs. We have a lovely lady in the building here. Laura Taylor's going to get up and do a couple of songs. She's sitting down right there. So after we do this one, we'll have Laura to the stage, and it'll actually bring down the average age. How many years in the band?
Well, it'll bring down the average stage age, that's for sure. Which is a very important thing, you know. Now, I do want to point out before we go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, if you have to leave or if you don't have to leave, that thing right there is not a tip jar, ladies and gentlemen. That is not a tip jar there. What that is, and I know the tip jar has become ubiquitous during COVID and all that, but forget all that. That is not a tip jar. What that is a receptacle to hold dollars for the Save the Unicorn Fund, ladies and gentlemen, right there. I'm telling you, 2 weeks into COVID, good man yourself, and you're on camera, you can't deny it, tell the tax man. Right. About 2 weeks into COVID, this bloody big unicorn wandered onto Darcy's property. I mean, it was as big as a priest now. This thing was huge, right? And we've been feeding it ever since. We've tried to put it on a diet, and then we fed it again. Anyway, the long and the short of the story, which is already too long, is it's costing us a fortune to feed the damn thing. So we're passing the experience on to ye fellas. Just letting you know. And, are there any Catholics out there? Tell the truth. Okay. No need to feel guilty, and this is not a guilt trip, but if you don't put something in there, you're contributing to the slow, agonizing death of a unicorn, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that's just for the Catholics, nobody else.
There you have it. That's it.
And that's it. Can't help you.
Simple as that.
Thank you, sir. We're going to give it a beer tonight in your name. Oh, look at you.
Oh, God, love her.
Don't stop now. Come back.
Come in, brother.
Hey, how are you?
We're going to do a song written by the late great. Now, when it's kind of hard getting used to saying the late great Mr. Pete St. John from Ireland, and we're very, very proud to say, myself and Kevin, we're good friends of Pete St. John. He died back just a few months ago in Ireland at the lovely age of 91, I got to say. But he wrote some great tunes. He's certainly the most celebrated Irish songwriter, across around the world. He wrote songs like The Fields of Athenry, which I think we're going to have Laura sing for us, which is absolutely wonderful. And he wrote songs like McClory, Dublin the Rare Old Times, and this one he wrote called Black Gold, all about the oil industry off the north coast of Scotland. And here we go. There's good money, don't you fear, said the man down by the pier. The sea is alive and it's calling. Won't you chase to New Black Gold, where once the herring showed? There's black gold in the deep waters, Johnny, where the North Sea wind is blowing, and the day is a lifetime too long, where we drew sweat and toil to take the ocean
ocean's oil. There's black gold in the deep waters, Johnny. There are men from Scapa Flow and a kid from Sandy Row, said men who look all spiff and sparkle, and a money-spending binge, joyriding on the reefs, and you chase the new black gold without your gargle, where the North Sea wind is blowing, and the day is a lifetime too long, where we drew swan and toil to take the ocean's oil. There's black gold in the deep waters, Johnny. There's 12-hour shifts to do, playing nursemaid to the crew. There's loneliness and fear in empty ocean. From the Shetlands to the Cash, they're chasing oil instead of fish, for black gold in the deep waters, Johnny, where the North Sea wind is blowing, and the day is a lifetime too long, where we drill, swan and toil to take the ocean's oil. There's black gold in the deep waters, Johnny, for the rigs with second home, sitting pretty o'er the foam, a way of life that's new to every nation. And there's 100 extra quid to go diving with the squid, for black gold in the deep waters, Johnny, where the North Sea wind is blowing, and the day is a lifetime too long, where we drill, swan and toil to take the ocean's oil. There's black gold in the deep waters, Johnny, where the North Sea wind is blowing, and the day's a lifetime too long, where we drill, swan and toil to take the ocean's oil. There's black gold in the deep waters, Johnny. There's black gold in the deep waters, Johnny. There you go, a bit of peace, St. John.
Dead sexy.
Now, folks, just chat amongst yourselves. Give us a couple of minutes. We had no rehearsal for this, so we have the lovely lady Laura Taylor coming up to do a song or two with us. Give her a large round of applause while she's walking to the stage. Yes.
What key are we in, lads?
Which one we do first? Dutchman? Okay.
What way you do Dutchman?
That's B. B flat.
Are you doing like the intensive version? Are you doing the slowdowns as well? Yeah, it's lead slow, lead guitars everywhere. Like so it goes. So I know the Dutchman.
This is a Mike Smith tune called The Dutchman and Lady Margaret.
We watched it right before for you.
Whoops.
Check, check,
My
check.
fault.
There we go. The Dutchman's not the kind of man to keep his thumb jammed in the dam that holds his dreams in. But that's a secret only Margaret knows. When Amsterdam is golden, in the morning Margaret brings him breakfast. She believes him. He thinks the tulips bloom beneath the snow. He's mad as he can be, but Margaret only sees that sometimes. Sometimes she sees her unborn children in his eyes. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. The Dutchman still wears wooden shoes. His cap and coat are patched with love that Margaret sewed there. Sometimes he thinks he's still in Rotterdam. He watches tugboats down canals and calls out to them when he thinks he knows the captain. Till Margaret comes to take him home again, through unforgiving streets that trip him though she holds his arm. Sometimes he thinks that he's alone and calls her name. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. The windmills swirl the wintering. She winds his muffler tighter. They sit in the kitchen. Some tea with whiskey keeps away the dew. He sees her for a moment, calls her name. She makes his bed up, singing some old love song. She learned it when the tune was very new. He hums a line or two. They sing together in the dark. The Dutchman falls asleep and Margaret blows the candle out. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. must go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me.
That was lovely.
That was so nice.
Lovely. All right, I'm giving it up. That's enough of that. Just how do you do it? Just straight? Sing me a little bit. Just straight. Yes, you're great. It's lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, have a gigantic round of applause for this completely unrehearsed bit that we're at up here. That's lovely.
It's a pleasure to share the stage with you folks.
By lonely prison wall, I heard a young girl calling.
It's gorgeous.
Michael, they have taken you away, for you stole Trevelyan's corn, so the young might see them all. Now a prison ship lies waiting in the bay. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely around the fields of Athenry. By lonely prison wall, I heard a young man calling. Nothing matters, Mary, when you're free. Against famine and the crowd, I rebelled, they shut me down. Now you must raise our child with dignity. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. By lonely harbor wall, she watched the last star falling, as that prison ship sailed out against the sky. For she lived in hope and pray for love in Broderick Bay. It's so lonely songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry.
Large round of applause for Laura, please. Oh, you can do one more if you want. We're in no rush. Sing another one. Yeah. Beautiful, grand, absolutely no.
Now, everybody out there in live stream land, remember that name.
It's so great to be able to spend a beautiful Sunday afternoon here at Broderick's with all the food and the drink and the singing and the music. It's absolutely wonderful after a rough few years. So to say we're enjoying ourselves here today would be an understatement. It's absolutely great. What do you say, Kevin? I never heard a word I said. He don't care anyway. But he's enjoying himself. We have lots of celebrities in the house. Mr. Harry Ingram is just
Yes, Harry Ingram just walked through the door.
Might drag him on the stage once. You never know.
That's the end of having a nice, easy afternoon, isn't it? Jeez. Break out the lovely Mary Ann's now. We're all here.
I think perfect. I think I'll step down.
Okay.
That was lovely. I think that's all I'll do.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Laura Taylor. A big round of applause, if you please. All right. Right, let's move on. We'll move on to... thanks, Laura.
Sure, Kevin. All right. Sure, why not?
Right, we're moving on. We learnt a song from them four fine fellas above Harry there. Them fellas right up there. Harry, you'd fit right in. No, you wouldn't actually. Too much hair. I had hair when I used to play with it.
I know
Anyway.
we have a camera back here on the deck facing in, and I'm looking at the iPad and I can see me bald spot.
Jesus.
No.
That's better than me. I am a bald spot, so there it is. Right. This is a tune called Whiskey in the Jar, and we stopped doing this for a while because everybody was doing it. We were doing it for years. And as songs come and go throughout a set, it's sort of left for a little while. And then we heard a great version by a wonderful American folk group called Metallica, and we said, Jesus, we should do this song again now. Well, as I was going over the far-famed Kerry Mountains, I met with Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. I first produced my pistol, then I produced me rapier, saying stand and deliver, or a prisoner you'll be taken, mushering on the do-ramada. Whack fall the daddy-o, whack fall the daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. Well, I counted out his money, and it made a pretty penny. I put it in me pocket for to take it home to Jenny. She sighed and she swore she never would leave me, but the devil take the women, for they are so damn deceiving, mushering on the do-ramada. Whack fall the daddy-o, whack fall the daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. Now I'm into my chamber, all for to take a slumber. I dreamt of gold and jewels, sure it was no wonder that Jenny drew me charges. She filled them up with water. She sent for Captain Farrell to be ready for the slaughter, mushering on the do-ramada. Whack fall the daddy-o, whack fall the daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. Well, it was early in the morning before I rose to travel. Up come a band of troopers, likewise Captain Farrell. Well, I first produced my pistol. She stole away my rapier. I couldn't shoot the water, so a prisoner I was taken. Mushering-a-ma-doo-ra-ma-da. Whack fall the daddy-o, whack fall the daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. Now if anyone can save me, it's me brother in the army. If I can find a station, be it Cork or in Killarney, we'd roam the Cummerah Mountains and the foothills of Kilkenny. I'm sure he'd treat me kinder than me darling handsome Jenny. Mushering-a-ma-doo-ra-ma-da. Whack fall my daddy-o, whack fall my daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. Hey, mushering-a-ma-doo-ra-ma-da. Whack fall the daddy-o, whack fall the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Hey!
Now, I tell you what, folks, we're having a wonderful evening here, and as we say, it's all kinds of surprises here at Broderick, especially in the summertime. Again, a large round of applause for a lovely, lovely voice with Laura Taylor for a great job. Thank you so much. She'll make you jump again later on. Now, we have another great friend of ours just happened to show up to the door, and I said, we're doing this live stream here called After Jigs, so there's a lot of people tuned in, and I'd love to bring... Now, Harry is very well known here. He's an incredible storyteller, all kinds of recitations and the whole lot. I wanted to get Harry up to do a recitation or two. This man is, you'll enjoy him. He's very, very funny. I'm a huge, huge fan. And you'll notice when he walks up there now, we're brothers from the neck down. Yes. Come up. You want to grab that one there? Big hand.
Yes, grab that one. Come on, Harry.
Big hand for Harry.
Fabulous, boy. How's all hands?
Get right on the mic there.
Yes, no problem. Good stuff. Well, boys, I'm just in through the door, so how are y'all? Good? Excellent, excellent. All right, as Darcy said, I do recitations as just stories, rhyming stories, in case you don't know what a recitation is. But this is a story, anyway, about my great-uncle John. He's old and crooked. Do anybody know anybody old and crooked? Scattered one around, I suppose. Anyway.
And I'm behind you, so watch yourself.
I'm going to be careful now and stay over this way or something. Anyway, this is called Don't Be Talking. That was Great Uncle John's favourite expression. Everyone knows one and that there's no doubt. Someone all negative, yes, down in the mouth. Sure, I know one quite well, he's my Great Uncle John, but isn't that for his wit or his charm I'm so fond? But crooked as sin, that's the way to describe him. Opinions he got, he don't care if you like him. Yes, he's that friggin' crooked, I'll tell you right now, that if he died tomorrow, he'd be screwed in the ground. Well, I visited one day, he was watching TV, Leafs and Habs, yes, he loves his hockey. Well, how's the game, Uncle John? I said with a smile and stopped and waited to hear his reply. Hockey, don't be talking. They should learn how to skate, and that ref should be shot, and I'm sure that my Leafs won't make the playoffs, and I can't see the puck unless I'm wearing my glasses, and the TV's too small. Where's my bread and molasses? Well, he bawled for 5 minutes about hockey and stuff till Aunt Sue's from the kitchen brought out his mug up. Well, I guess you're all right now with your tea and your lunch, I said to my uncle, and he started to grunt. Grub, don't be talking. My son grub around here's not fit to eat. Sure, boiler soup might have ne'er bit of meat, and pea soup is worse, 'cause most times it's salty, and the broth's almost clear, and the dough balls are soggy. And Aunt Sue's bakes them cakes, like the one in the song, the Trinity cake, and it paralyzes your jaw. Well, it's his job to get grub this fit around here. Sure, the health science would be better, and probably St. Clair's. Well, just then on the radio came tomorrow's forecast. Should be half cold, but a touch overcast. Nice day tomorrow, Uncle John, you agree? Well, he stood up and he looked out the window to see. Weather, don't be talking. Sure, one day there's rain, and the next day there's snow. With frost on the ground, potatoes can't grow. And the crowd on the radio, sure, they're always wrong. Sure, they couldn't even forecast Placentia Bay fog. Yes, the weather is miserable. There's never no good. Sure, I can hardly get out and clave up me wood. And I can't check me slips 'cause it's wet and it's cold, and I can't hunt me moose 'cause it tells me I'm old. So I'll stay in the house now till the weather comes fine, and I suppose I'll get out again before I dies. Well, sure you will, Uncle John. Sure, you looks the best kind. How you feeling these days? You looks pretty spry. How am I feeling? Don't be talking. The gout is right bad, and I got corns on my feet, and I can't say the last time I had a good sleep, and the piles is right bad, not to mention arthritis. I'm sure I got TB or chronic bronchitis, and my hearing is no good, no more is my sight. The pants are all shrinking. I think I might need the diet. Well, he continued on with more aches and more pains and ailments that'd send normal men to their graves. Well, it's coming on dark, I said, Uncle John, but I'll be back again before long. Well, thanks for coming, he said, to see Aunt Susan and me. I suppose I'm not too bad for 103. Well, I guess at his age it's his right to complain. No, I really can't wait to go see him again. It's my great Uncle John. He's a very fine fella. If anyone asks, I'll say, let me tell you, great Uncle John. Don't be talking. Thanks. All right. That's all right, bit of foolishness. Anybody like hot foods? Spicy foods? Oh, yes. Anybody? Oh, yeah? Yes, boy, yeah, I don't. Can't stand them. Used to. I used to one time, but now I don't anymore. And there's a reason for that, and I'm about to tell you. This is a little recitation I call hot sauce. Allow me to relate a story that's spicy, and I don't mean romantic or anything dicey. So don't mind the youngsters, don't cover their ears. It's a story of hot sauce that brought me to tears. You see, whenever asked, do you like hot stuff? I soon meant food, said yes, can't get enough. Yes, that is a fact, what I'm saying is true. Should by the time I was 10, I used Tabasco and stew. And then came the peppers, what wonderful taste, when your mouth starts to burn and red turns your face. Well, I continued on for a few years or more with hot wings and chili and hot sauce galore. And then a friend of mine said to get these new things, spiciest ever, called Insanity Wings. Well, a little intrigued, I said they can't be that bad, so I found a location. Yes, they had to be had. I walked in and sat down at the table I chose when a waiver was shoved right under my nose. Oh, no, thank you, sir. I don't want the sign. That's probably for tourists, so you can keep mine. Oh, no, said the waiter. You have the sign first. So reluctantly I did, but I'm sure I've had worse. And then he proceeded to tell us the tale of 10 people or more, both female and male, who tried these wings. They still come here all right, but 2 guys and 3 girls have all lost their sight. And one young fella ate 3 wild half sows, and he lost the skin from the roof of his mouth. And another young fella, I don't remember his name, he hiccuped after lunch and set the table ablaze. I didn't flinch. I said, this must be lies. So bring on the food. I'm getting hungry, I cried. Well, not long after that, to my table appeared a man in a suit like the Nassau crowd wears. And they set on the table an assortment of things, plus a gallon of milk and the Insanity Wings. He said, you might want to eat that other stuff first and drink half the milk. Yes, prepare for the worst. Well, I started in. There's no time like the present as the waiter and staff backed into the kitchen. I could see them all peering from the window inside. As I swallowed the first bite, my eyes opened wide. Well, I couldn't feel a single thing on my tongue, and not only that, my lips went all numb. But I said, I won't let these wings get the best of me, so I took a deep breath, and I gobbled down 3. Well, my vision went funny, and I started to shake. I couldn't feel my fingers or half of my face. So I went to the washroom for further inspection. Well, my lips looked like they had Botox injections. And the strength of the sauce was making me cry, so then a huge mistake. Yes, I wiped my eyes. Oh, how they burned as they almost swelled shut, and I was sure that the lining was burned from my guts. So as I stood there in pain and also half blind, I took a cramp in the stomach and then my behind. Now, what happened next? I'll spare you detail. I'll leave that much out and get back to the tale. So back to the table to pay for the meal. Yes, $48. What a hell of a deal. So let's take a look at what I got for the cash. Swelled eyes, swelled lips, and a permanent rash. And my cast iron stomach is now all burnt to cinders, and I can hardly sit down because my backside has blisters. Well, it's been quite a while now since all this transpired, and when it comes to hot food, well, I guess I've retired. No spices for me now. I can't handle the taste. Sure, all my sauces are now Alfredo-based. And I can't look at peppers, neither green nor red, and with the thought of chili comes a pain in the head. So now, if anyone asks me, do you like hot stuff? I say, no, thank you kindly. I think I've had enough. Thank you. All right. Thanks, folks.
Mr. Harry Ingram, folks, done a grand job. Good stuff. He's loads.
How are you now? Look at the lineup. You just go out on the deck. Open it up. Oh, and build it first.
Bring your own chair.
Checky check.
Well, that's beautiful. We're going to do one more song now. We're going to take a short break, and we're back for another set, and then another break, and then we're back for another set, and then... I'm not going to say we're going home, but we'll probably stay out today.
We might as well.
Yes, and after we finish this song now, a good big round of applause for our good friend Mr. Tom Conway for doing the live stream here today, folks. Called After Jigs, and you can tune in for the rest of the week and have a look. You might see yourself on camera. After Jigs live stream. It's been beautiful.
Lovely.
Oh, we got to
Listen, before we go anywhere, if you don't mind, ladies and gentlemen, a gigantic round of applause for the great staff here at Broderick's now, giving you the liquor and the food. A round of applause for Christ's sake, come on.
We're going to finish off this set with a little sad song. We like to finish the first set with a sad song. Song all about marriage. Oh my God, thank you so much.
The unicorn's going to eat tonight, that's great.
They say before a man is married, he's incomplete. And after he's married, he's finished. Yes. Isn't that right, Kevin?
My uncle John Michael used to say that. Is there any married people here today, by the way? Oh, there are, okay. Well, you made it this far. Very good, very good. My uncle John Michael used to say marriage is a 3-ring circus. It's the engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the suffering. So here we go.
He would rather see me dead and buried in the clay sooner than get married to Annie run away by the lovely sweet banks of the rose, by the banks of the rose, my love and I sat down. I took up me fiddle for to play me love a tune. In the middle of the tune, oh, she sighed and she said, "Oh, Johnny lovely, Johnny, don't you leave." Soon I'll let him know that I could take the butler, I could leave it alone. If her daddy doesn't like it, he can keep his daughter home. And Johnny can go roving with another by the banks of the roses, my love and I sat down. I took out me fiddle for to play me love a tune. In the middle of the tune, oh, she sighed and she said, "Oh, Johnny lovely, Johnny, don't you leave me." When I get married, it'll be in the month of May, and the leaves they're green, and the meadows are gay. Me and me true love would sit in sport and play by the lovely sweet banks of the roses, by the banks of the roses, my love and I sat down. And I took up me fiddle for to play me love a tune. In the middle of the tune, oh, she sighed and she said, "Oh, Johnny lovely, Johnny, don't you leave me by the banks of the roses, my love and I sat down. I took up me fiddle for to play me love a tune. In the middle of the tune, oh, she sighed and she said, "Ah, Johnny lovely, Johnny, don't you leave me." We'll be back. Thank you so much. Big hand for Harry, the big hand for Laura. Beautiful. Great stuff.
Mr. Darcy Broderick over here, ladies and gentlemen.
And Mr. Kevin Evans from the County Waterford.
And yourselves. Yay!